Well, Guardian Games 2021 is here, and that means Laurel farming is back in a big way for the next 3 weeks. So Laurels are the key to getting bounties, contender cards and rewards from either, so you're going to be wanting to generate as many Laurels as possible. Well, today I'm going to be looking at how to farm Laurels and the best methods for all classes, including tips and tricks with exotic armour and weapons to help you out. And if you're new around here or find this video useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, the key to winning Guardian games are the medals and the points, and whichever class you are, you're going to be wanting to farm Laurels and to exchange with either for contender cards, which in turn gets you medals. Therefore, farming as many Laurels as you possibly can and as quickly as you can helps your class win the Guardian games. Well, before we jump into the farming methods, here's a quick overview of Laurels and some useful tips that you don't want to forget. And you can check out the timestamps down below if you want to jump to a specific section. So first of all, let's have a look at Laurels themselves. So pick up Laurels during Guardian games to purchase bounties, contender cards and rewards from either. And Laurels, they kind of look like motes from Gambit and they're coloured for each specific class. Laurels are going to drop in all activities except for Gambit and Crucible, where they'll be awarded after the match has ended. So there are some key important points to remember about Laurels. So players must be wearing their Guardian Games class item to generate Laurels and progress any Guardian Games bounties. Previous Guardian Games class item from the 2020 games, they're not going to generate Laurels or progress any Guardian Games bounties. And Laurels do not drop on the ground in Gambit or Crucible, instead they're awarded directly to players at the end of matches. And unrecovered Laurels do not go to the player's postmaster and must be picked up to count towards their total. And do be aware they do disappear quickly, so if you see a Laurel, go and get it quickly and pick it up. Well, next up, let's have a look at how to generate Laurels. So to generate Laurels, you want to be getting ability kills in activities, and that includes grenade, charge melee and super kills. So once you do this, enemies will drop Laurels and you simply need to pick them up. Do be aware that Laurels don't stick around for too long, and once they've been generated by ability kills, they do disappear, so pick them up as soon as you can. Well, next up, let's have a look at the quickest way to generate Laurels for each class. So for Titans, the fastest way has to be through the Skull Fort exotic helm with ballistic slam. So that is Middle Tree Striker Titan. So with this you can run around, jump and slam with the melee midair, and the Skull Fort is going to refresh your melee energy when you kill an enemy. Just make sure you get those kills and try not to miss for unlimited slams. That's a really quick and easy way to generate loads of Laurels. Next up we got Warlocks, so there's a couple of choices here. You've got the Claws of Amkara for the double melee attack, or you can also use the Phoenix Protocol due to any kill from a Well of Radiance counts as an ability kill. So Stormcallers with Crown of Tempest also have a fast way of creating a lot of Laurels in their super, so pairing this with Elemental Well mods for improved intellect would be a good play, so look out for the Font of Wisdom and Elemental Ordnance. And finally Hunters, so dodging helps refresh melee on Hunters, and once you pair this with Liar's Handshake, you got a solid build and can quickly generate Laurels. Shinobu's Vow is also good for double grenades, and I'd say Arcstriders probably have the best supers for generating plenty of Laurels fast. Well, next up, let's have a look at the best locations and activities for farming Laurels. So the first three here are probably the most efficient way to farm Laurels if you're talking Laurels per minute. So first up, we've got the Blind Well, and this can be found on the Dreaming City. It's a great farming location where you've got plenty of enemies. So load up the Dreaming City and make your way to the Blind Well, and that can be seen on the map, and hopefully there's going to be a few other Guardians there too. We've also got the Altars of Sorrow, so head on over to the moon and you'll find a bunch of enemies spawning in the Altars of Sorrow. And this one can be found at Sorrow's Harbour. So you've got multiple waves of enemies and plenty of thrall to take out, and you'll be generating loads of Laurels in a short amount of time. You've also got a chance for a weapon at the end, also really good for picking up that Blasphemer shotgun. And finally, the Shiro Chi checkpoint in the Last Wish raid. So this one is really good, and it's long been the go-to location for catalyst farming since the thrall room was taken away with the removal of Io in the Whisper mission. So to get there quickly, simply load up the raid. You can do this solo, and you can make your way to the Wishing Wall. Once you're at the Wishing Wall, enter the 4th Wish code, which you can see on screen now, and you'll be teleported to the Shiro Chi encounter. So there's hundreds of taken thrall here, and that's going to help you generate hundreds of Laurels per minute. So this method is great for farming Catalyst 2 in the future if you need to farm anything out. Well, you can also farm laurels in other activities, so you've got Strike Laurels, and there is a new playlist specifically for Guardian games, so go in there to be teamed up with other members of the same class. So given you're going to be creating Laurels as a class team, you'll get more points, and this has the potential to be very, very efficient. Some strikes are longer than others though, so it is worth bearing that in mind. You can also go into battlegrounds, given there's plenty of enemies, and that's going to be a really good way to generate laurels. It's probably going to be less efficient than the Guardian Game Strike playlist because you're going to be teaming up with other members of other classes, unless you do coordinate with a fire team of course. Still, loads of enemies means good for laurel farming. Then you got Crucible and Gambit, so laurels don't drop on the ground here, they do get awarded at the end of matches, and the best bet here is to try and get the matches over as fast as possible as per the normal activity. Personally, I probably wouldn't use these game modes for farming, it's going to be much quicker and easier in PvE activities. And finally, you got bounties, so you can do bounties from Eva Levante in the tower for laurels, but I would say it's going to be quicker with one of the previously mentioned activities. So in all of these methods, I would team up with fire team members of the same class, then laurels are going to count more as you're hanging out with the same class. So the Guardian Game Strike playlist is going to really help you here. However, if you want to coordinate through LFG sites, then you can use Destiny Tracker or the Bungie Companion app. Well, let me know down in the comments where you're farming laurels, what exotic armour you're using and what weapons too. I'd love to hear what your farming technique is and share it down there in the comments. Well, that is it for this guide for how to fast farm laurels in Guardian Games 2021, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again, see you in the next video.
You are finally here, Brother Slayer, Spawn Killer. All that strength, and you're still nothing but a retainer to the Awoken Queen. You could be so much more. All you need do is wish it. Come. I would quite like to meet you.